Once upon a time, in a small village, nestled in the rolling hills of a far-off land, there lived a young girl named Akira. Akira was known throughout the village for her exceptional talent in weaving beautiful fabrics. She spent most of her days weaving intricate patterns and designs that told stories of the village's history and culture. Akira's fabrics were not just mere decorations, they were a way of preserving the village's heritage and traditions. She wove stories of the village's ancestors, their struggles and triumphs, and the legends that had been passed down through generations. Her fabrics were a testament to the village's rich cultural heritage, and everyone in the village cherished them dearly. One day, a wealthy merchant from a neighboring town came to the village and offered Akira a large sum of money to weave a fabric exclusively for him. The merchant was impressed by Akira's talent and wanted a fabric that would showcase his wealth and status. Akira was tempted by the offer, but she knew that her fabrics were not just mere commodities, they held the village's heritage and stories. She declined the offer, stating that her fabrics were not for sale but for the village's cultural preservation. The merchant was disappointed but respected Akira's decision. He realized that Akira's fabrics were not just beautiful pieces of art but also a way of preserving the village's history and culture. As time passed, the village faced a severe drought that affected the crops and livestock. The villagers were struggling to survive, and Akira knew she had to do something. She decided to use her weaving skills to create a fabric that would tell the story of the village's resilience and hope. She worked tirelessly for days, pouring her heart and soul into the fabric. She wove stories of the village's ancestors, who had faced similar challenges and had come out stronger. She wove stories of the village's children, who were the future and hope of the community, and she wove stories of the village's elders, who had lived through hardships and had wisdom to share. When she finished, she presented the fabric to the villagers, who were deeply moved by the beauty and meaning of the fabric. The fabric became a symbol of the village's strength and unity, and soon people from neighboring towns and cities came to see it. The village's economy began to flourish once again, and Akira's fabrics became highly sought after, not for their monetary value, but for the stories and culture they represented. People came from far and wide to see the fabrics and learn about the village's history and traditions. Akira's selflessness and dedication to preserving her village's culture inspired others to do the same. The villagers began to appreciate their heritage and traditions more than ever before, and they worked together to preserve them for future generations. The moral of the story is that one's talents and skills should be used for the greater good and not just for personal gain. Akira's selflessness and dedication to preserving her village's culture inspired others to do the same, and together they created a thriving community that valued its heritage and traditions. The story of Akira and her fabrics spread far and wide, reminding people of the importance of preserving their cultural heritage. And Akira, the young girl who had once been hesitant to share her talents with the world, became a legendary figure known throughout the land for her wisdom, compassion, and dedication to her community. Years went by, and Akira continued to weave her beautiful fabrics, each one telling a story of the village's history and culture. And as people wore her fabrics, they felt proud to be a part of a community that valued its heritage and traditions. The village prospered, and Akira's fabrics became a symbol of its strength and unity. And Akira, the young girl who had once been hesitant to share her talents with the world, became a symbol of hope and inspiration for generations to come. The story of Akira and her fabrics was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder of the power of selflessness, dedication, and community. And as people read the story, they were inspired to make a difference in their own world, to preserve their cultural heritage, and to use their talents for the greater good. And so, the story of Akira and her fabrics lived on, a testament to the power of community, culture, and the human spirit. It reminded people that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, and that, together, we can overcome any challenge and achieve great things. The story of Akira and her fabrics was a reminder that our talents and skills are not just for personal gain, but for the greater good. It reminded us that our cultural heritage is precious and that we must preserve it for future generations. And it reminded us that, together, we can achieve great things and create a world that is Akira and her fabrics continue to inspire people generation after generation, a reminder of the power